Hello friends, let's start ionic equilibria. Next point is hydrolysis of salts. Before start hydrolysis of salts, we have to see salts and types of salts. In previous classes, we have learned one reaction which is neutralization reaction, and the reaction is acid reacts with base, it forms salt and water. That means salts are formed by the reaction of acid and base. Okay, now depending on the nature of acid and base, the salts is of four types. First one, salts derived from strong acid and strong base. Second one, salts derived from strong acid and weak base. Third one, salts derived from weak acids and strong base. And last one and or fourth one, salts derived from weak acids and weak base. Okay, now see how the salts are formed from strong acid and strong base. Okay, let's see if we have considered. Now we know very well about that which are the strong acids and which are the strong bases. We have to remember here HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3. These are the strong acids, while KOH and NaOH are strong bases. Okay, so by reaction of this strong acid and strong bases produces the salts. Now see one by one examples of as salts derived from strong acid and strong base. Okay, what are the examples of that salt? First one is NaCl. Now in which we have to take one cation and anion. Okay, that means NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus. Okay, that means we can derive the strong acid and strong base from the given salt. Okay, in the same way, see how the salts are prepared. We can see HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl. That means Na from sodium hydroxide and Cl from HCl, it gives NaCl and water. Next way, second example, it is Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate. Now see H2SO4 sulfuric acid plus sodium hydroxide. Now here we have to take 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. It will produce sodium sulfate Na2SO4 with 2 moles of water. Now the next NaNO3. Okay, see NaNO3 nitric acid plus sodium hydroxide. Sodium from the sodium hydroxide and NO3 nitrate ion from the nitric acid, it produces NaNO3 and water. In the same way, we can prepare the next salt KCl. You can also try for the next salt KCl. We K from the KOH potassium hydroxide and Cl from the hydrochloric acid HCl. It produces KCl and water molecule. In the same way, KNO3, that means potassium nitrate. When nitric acid reacts with potassium hydroxide, it produces potassium nitrate and water. Okay, in the same way, we can from the salt we can imagine or we can assume from which acid and from which base it has formed. Okay, now see the next one, salts derived from strong acid and weak bases. Okay, now except KOH and potassium, other bases are the weak bases, and we have to use here same strong acid. Now see here ammonium chloride. Now if we considered here Cl minus is came from the HCl, then NH4OH is came from the base. Therefore, we can assume the base will be ammonium hydroxide, that is NH4OH, and we can write the reaction. Hydrochloric acid plus ammonium hydroxide gives ammonium chloride plus water. In the same way, copper sulfate. Now the sulfate is from the sulfuric acid and copper from the cupric hydroxide. Therefore, sulfuric acid plus cupric hydroxide. Formula for cupric hydroxide is Cu in bracket OH and bracket subscript to the bracket is 2. That means cupric hydroxide. It gives CuSO4, copper sulfate plus water molecule. Now the next one, it is ammonium nitrate, NH4NO3. We can also imagine that NO3 from the nitric acid and NH4 from the ammonium hydroxide. So we can write the reaction nitric acid plus ammonium hydroxide. It gives ammonium nitrate plus water molecule. See the next one, it is a CuCl2. Same way as we have used cupric hydroxide for the above reaction, in the same way we can use here cupric hydroxide as a weak base and hydrochloric acid as a strong acid. Therefore, 2 moles of hydrochloric acid plus 1 mole of cupric hydroxide, it gives CuCl2 plus water molecule. Now, third type, it is salts derived from weak acid and strong base. Now here we are going to use a weak acids and strong bases, that is KOH and NaOH. Okay, now see, we have given the examples of salt: sodium acetate, KCN, potassium cyanide, Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. Now see how these salts are formed. See from here, first example, it is sodium acetate, CH3COO minus anion and Na plus is the cation. That means we can assume the NaOH strong base which reacts with acetic acid. It gives a sodium acetate plus water molecule. In the same way, we can write the reaction for KCN. If we considered here KOH as a strong base, then we can take CN from the HCN. Therefore, reaction is HCN plus KOH, hydrogen cyanide plus potassium hydroxide. It gives potassium cyanide plus water molecule. In the same way, we can prepare for the sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. We can use here formic acid plus sodium hydroxide. See here, carbonic acid. Formula for the carbonic acid is H2CO3 plus 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. It gives sodium carbonate plus water molecule. And last one type, it is salts derived from weak acid and weak base. Salts derived from weak acids and weak base. Okay, and the examples are ammonium acetate, ammonium cyanide. Both are from the weak acids. Okay, now see, ammonium acetate, CH3COO minus, that means the acetate ion which is came from the acetic acid, and NH4 plus ammonium ion is came from the weak base ammonium hydroxide, and it forms a ammonium acetate, CH3COO NH4 plus water molecule. Second example is ammonium cyanide. So for the ammonium cyanide, we can use hydrogen cyanide plus ammonium hydroxide. Okay, NH4 from the ammonium hydroxide and CN from the cyanide. It forms a ammonium cyanide with water molecule. Okay, so we have seen four types of acids. First one, it is acid derived from strong acid and strong base. Second one, acid derived from strong acid and weak base. Third one, from salts derived from weak acid and strong base. And fourth one, it is salts derived from weak acid and weak base. Okay, after this we have to remember one important thing is the salts or solutions of salts. Whenever we are preparing the solutions of salts, we have to remember one thing: solutions of salts of strong acid and strong base are neutral. That means if we have taken a salt which is derived from strong acid and strong base, then their solution is neutral. And second one, it is if we have prepared a solution of salt of strong acid and weak base, then the solution is acidic one, because we have to remember here degree of dissociation of strong acid and weak base. Acids are dissociates completely, that means it produces the more number of H plus ions, and weak bases are dissociate sparingly or partially, and therefore the concentration of OH minus ions is less, and therefore the solution of salts of strong acid and weak base are acidic in nature. In the same way, we can write the solution of salt of weak acid and strong base are basic in nature. Now here acid is weak acid, and weak acid dissociates partially or incompletely in aqueous solution, while the strong base dissociate completely in water, and therefore the concentration of OH minus ion is greater than that of the concentration of H plus ions, and therefore solution of salts of weak acid and strong base is basic in nature. And this is the important concept for the questions we will see in the next part. Now let's continue to hydrolysis of salts. Okay, now we have seen the hydrolysis of salts. When the salts are dissociated in water, it dissociates completely into its constituent ions and pure water molecule. Now we have seen first upon we have, and due to the presence of these salts dissociated in water, the concentration of H3O plus ion. Generally in pure water, the concentration of H plus ion and concentration of OH minus ion is equal. But if we have mixed a salt in water, and if the salts do not interact with water, then the concentration of H plus ion and concentration of OH minus ion is equal. But if the ions of salts reacts with water molecule, then the concentration of H3O plus ion and concentration of OH minus ions it get disturbed, and the neutral nature of water gets disturbed, and therefore depending upon the nature of salt, the solution of water gets changed. Okay, now we are going to see definition of hydrolysis of water. The reaction between the ions of salt and the ions of water is called as hydrolysis of salt. Or we can define in another way, the reaction in which cations or anions or both ions of the salt react with water to produce acidity or alkalinity is called as hydrolysis of salt. Once again, remember here, when the pure water is dissociated, it forms hydronium ion and OH minus ion. And for the pure water, this concentration of hydronium ion and OH minus ion is equal or same. But when we are going to prepare the solution of salts, then salt also get dissociated and it forms the cations and anions, and these cations and anions interact with water molecule, and the concentration of H3O plus ion, that means the hydronium ion or OH minus ion, does not exist equal, and therefore the concentration of hydronium ion is not equal to the concentration of OH minus ion, and therefore acidity or alkalinity of the solution get changed. Therefore we can define the hydrolysis of salt in this way: the reaction in which cations and anions or both ions of a salt react with ions of water to produce acidity or alkalinity is called as hydrolysis of salt. Now we are going to see for the individually for the salts of strong acid, strong base, for alkalinity or acidity, or hydrolysis of salts of strong acid and strong base, hydrolysis of salts of strong acid and weak base, hydrolysis of salts of weak acid and strong base, and after that hydrolysis of salts of weak acid and weak base. Okay, first one upon we are going to see the salts of strong acid and strong bases. We have seen examples of salts of strong acid and strong base are NaCl, sodium chloride, Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, KCl, potassium chloride, KNO3, potassium nitrate are the salts of strong acid and strong bases. Okay, when if we have taken one particular example of a salt, if we consider it for the NaCl, when the sodium chloride is a salt of strong acid and strong base dissolved in water, it produces Na plus and Cl minus ion. Okay, now the ions of Na plus and Cl minus has no tendency to react with water molecule. If they reacts with water molecule, the possible products formed are HCl and NaOH, and which are the strong electrolytes, and these strong electrolytes are again dissociate completely in water molecule. Okay, so here remember one thing: when we dissolve any salt in water and if it produces a strong electrolytes, then that electrolytes are again dissociated into their respective ions, and that respective ions decides the nature of the solution. For example, now see, we have taken here NaCl. Okay, and NaCl produces Na plus and Cl minus ion, and again if these ions are react with H plus and OH minus ion with water, it produces a strong acid HCl and strong base NaOH, and as both these acid and bases are the strong electrolytes, they are again dissociates into Na plus. For the Na, from NaOH, Na plus and OH minus, and from the HCl it produces H plus and Cl minus ion. H plus we have written here in the form of hydronium ion. Okay, and therefore as the reactant and products are the same, therefore it implies that neither anions nor cations of salt react with water, and therefore the solution is neutral, and it may be concluded that the salts of strong acid and strong bases does not undergo hydrolysis. You have to remember one thing: the salts of strong acid and strong base does not undergo hydrolysis. Okay, now what we have seen here for the strong salts of strong acid and strong base. We have seen here when the salts of strong acid and strong base dissolved in water, it produces cation and anion which does not react with water molecule, as it again produces strong electrolytes. For example, we have taken sodium chloride, and when the sodium chloride is dissolved in water, it produces Na plus, Cl minus, plus OH minus plus H3O plus, that is hydronium ion, and therefore it does not affect the acidity or basicity of the solution, and therefore the solution is unaffected by the salt, and therefore the salts of strong acid and strong base does not undergo hydrolysis. Now see the salts of strong acid and weak bases. Now you have seen before this also examples of salts of strong acid and weak base, which are the ammonium chloride, copper sulfate, ammonium nitrate, copper chloride are the salts of the strong acids and weak bases. Okay, now if we considered a cupric sulfate, CuSO4 is a salt of strong acid. Which strong acid? H2SO4, and weak base CuOH twice, cupric hydroxide. Okay, if we dissolve this salt in water, it produces Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus ions. When the copper sulfate is dissolved in water, it produces Cu2 plus plus SO4 2 minus ion. And as this Cu2 plus ions reacts with OH minus ions of water molecule, it produces the cupric hydroxide, CuOH twice. Okay, but sulfate ion does not react with H plus ions of water molecule, or if it react with H plus ions of water molecule, it produces H2SO4, and H2SO4 is the strong electrolyte, and as it is a strong electrolyte, it again dissociates into H plus and SO4 2 minus ions, and therefore the solution which contains the H plus ions, that is, we can consider it as a hydronium ion, and therefore due to the presence of excess of H3O plus ions, the resulting solution of copper sulfate is acidic in nature, and therefore the blue litmus turns into red. Okay, now the question will be asked like this: in copper sulfate solution, blue litmus turns into red. Explain or give scientific reason. Okay, so first upon we have to mention there copper sulfate is a salt which is derived from strong acid H2SO4 and weak base cupric hydroxide, and this copper sulfate is dissociate completely to produce Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus ion. This Cu2 plus ion reacts with OH minus ion to produce a cupric hydroxide, and H plus ions and H plus ions and SO4 2 minus ion reacts to produce sulfuric acid H2SO4, which is a strong electrolyte and which again dissociates into H plus and SO. Question based on hydrolysis of salt of strong acid and weak base. Okay, before this we have seen the solution or hydrolysis of salt of copper sulfate. Now the question based on that point is that why it is necessary to add H2SO4 while preparing a solution of copper sulfate. Now see once again the question, why it is necessary to add H2SO4 while preparing a solution of copper sulfate. Same concept we have to apply here. Dissociation of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate dissociates in water. It produces cupric hydroxide, which is a weak electrolyte, and we know it very well that the weak electrolytes are dissociates partially in water. Okay, the same we have to just mention here. Copper sulfate is dissociates in water. It produces sparingly soluble salt, or we can simply write here copper sulfate is a weak electrolyte and therefore it dissociates sparingly into a water, and therefore the solution is turbid. And to clear this solution, if we add acid in water, it shifts the equilibrium towards the left, and therefore the turbidity of cupric hydroxide is dissolved to give a clear solution. And to get a clear solution of copper sulfate, the addition of sulfuric acid would be required. Okay, simply remember here, just write down two important sentences. First one is copper sulfate is weak electrolyte. Copper sulfate is a salt of strong acid and weak base, okay, which dissociates in water to produce sparingly soluble salt, cupric hydroxide. And due to this sparingly soluble salt, it produces a turbid solution. And to clear the solution, if we added the H2SO4 or any acid to the solution, it shifts the equilibrium towards the left, and therefore the turbidity of cupric hydroxide dissolved to give a clear solution, and therefore it is necessary to add acid, any acid or particularly sulfuric acid to the solution. Now the hydrolysis of salt of weak acid and strong base. Okay, we have seen the examples of salts of weak acid and strong base are sodium acetate, potassium cyanide, sodium carbonate. Okay, so whatever may be example we have given there, first one upon we have to write down the sentences that particular salt is a salt of weak acid, and from that respective salt, now we have given here sodium acetate, therefore the weak acid is acetic acid, and strong base NaOH. Okay, as we have given here Na, therefore NaOH. If we had given there K, then we can write there KOH. When dissolved in water, it dissociates completely. Now after dissociation of the salt, it produces one cation and one anion. As the sodium acetate we have given, we can write there cation and anion, CH3COO minus anion and Na plus cation. Okay, now we are going to see the dissolution of salt in water. Okay, dissolution of salt in water, it produces acetic acid. Now acetic acid is a weak electrolyte. Okay, and Na plus and OH minus. Okay, now these are in the form of ions only. Because of what? As they combine, it produces the NaOH ion, and NaOH is the strong electrolyte, and strong electrolyte again when dissolved in water, it again produces Na plus and OH minus ion, and therefore the concentration of OH minus ion in the solution is greater than that of the concentration of H plus ions. Okay, and therefore the solution of sodium acetate contains acetate ion, Na plus ion, H3O plus ions and OH minus ions. The ions of salt have no tendency to react with OH minus ion of water, since the possible product is NaOH, that is strong electrolyte, and acetate ion react with H3O plus ion forms a acetic acid. Okay, and due to the excess of OH minus ions are produced in the solution becomes basic in nature, and therefore the solution of sodium acetate is basic in nature. Okay, simply what we have to remember here, you can take any salt, whether it is sodium acetate or potassium cyanide or sodium carbonate. First one upon mention from which acid and which base it has made. Okay, for example, you have given here sodium acetate, which is made from weak acid, that is acetic acid, and strong base, that is sodium hydroxide. Okay, after that, first upon write down the dissociation of that particular salt. Okay, now dissociate sodium acetate CH3COONA, it gives CH3COO minus and Na plus. Okay, now we know that this acetate ion combines with H plus ion to produce the CH3COOH, that is acetic acid, and which is weak electrolyte, and as it is weak electrolyte, it dissociate partially or incompletely in solution. Okay, while the other hand, this Na plus, if combines with OH minus ion, it produces the sodium hydroxide, and sodium hydroxide is a strong base, or we can say it is a strong electrolyte, and as it dissociates completely, it again produces the Na plus and OH minus ions in solution, and therefore we can mention here the concentration of OH minus ion is greater than that of the concentration of H plus ion, because of H plus ion can be produced from weak electrolyte, and weak electrolyte dissociates incompletely. That means the concentration of H plus ion is less than that of the concentration of OH minus ion, and therefore the solution of salt of weak acid and strong base are basic in nature. Okay, same concept you can apply for the KCN and sodium carbonate. Okay, now see why the solution of ammonium chloride is acidic while that of potassium formate is basic. Okay, see, we have given here ammonium chloride. Okay, and second one, it is potassium acetate, potassium formate, formic acid, HCOOH, name of the acid is formic acid. Okay, and therefore the salt prepared from HCOK or Na, that means potassium formate. Okay, that means the salt derived from formic acid is potassium formate. Okay, now see what is the question, why an aqueous solution, that means we have to write here reason. Okay, for what ammonium chloride is acidic while potassium formate is basic in nature. Okay, so first one upon we have to write there from which acid and from which base it has made. Okay, for example, ammonium chloride. Okay, so ammonium chloride, it is made from ammonium chloride, it is made from first one upon HCl and plus ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH. Okay, now here HCl is strong acid and NH4OH is a weak base. Okay, so on dissociation of ammonium chloride in water, it produces NH4 plus Cl minus plus H3O plus. That means H plus ion we have written here in the form of hydronium ion and OH minus ion. Okay, now see here If both these ammonium and hydroxide ion combines to form ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak electrolyte and dissociates partially or incompletely in aqueous solution, while that of H plus and Cl minus ion produces HCl, which is a strong electrolyte, and it is a strong electrolyte. It again dissociates into H plus and Cl minus ions, and therefore the concentration of H plus ions in the solution is greater than the concentration of OH minus ion, and therefore the solution of salt ammonium chloride is acidic in nature. Same concept we have to apply here for the salt potassium format. Okay, now see, write down for the potassium format. Now HCOOK. Okay, it is made from, now here HCOO minus HCOOH, that means it is made from the formic acid, and KOH. Okay, now the formic acid is weak electrolyte, while KOH is strong electrolyte. Okay, now write down the reaction again for the hydrolysis of potassium format. HCOOK in water molecule, it produces HCOO minus in aqueous plus H plus, or we can write here in the form of hydronium ion also, in H3O plus K plus OH minus. Okay, we'll see this one in next page. Okay, see the reaction. See, HCOK plus H2O, it produces format ion plus K plus ion plus H3O plus ion plus OH minus ion. Okay, now here acetate format ion and hydronium ion combines to produce HCOOH formic acid, which is weak electrolyte, while when K plus and OH minus combines to produce KOH, which is strong electrolyte and which can dissociates again into K plus OH minus, and therefore the concentration of OH minus, therefore the concentration of OH minus is greater than the concentration of H plus ion in the solution of potassium format, and therefore the solution of potassium format is basic in nature. Okay, now only one part is left, that is a salts of weak acid and weak base. Okay, and we have to see there three different cases, and so to avoid the video should be too much long, we are going to see salt hydrolysis of salts of weak acid and weak base in the next video. Okay, thank you.